Alright then, welcome back to my video. Getting another one on the go. I don't know how many parts this saga is going to end up turning into, but it's going to be one or two by the looks of things. Where are we up to now? This is going to be part 10, I think. Part 10. And yeah, we're only just scratching the surface, but I've made some great inroads with it. It's coming on really well now. I feel a bit more confident in myself as well, because this is new to me. I can't, you know, I mean, I haven't done any of this sort of stuff before. I learned how to MIG weld when I was a kid. I was about 18, 19, and I actually did a MIG welding qualification at the time, if I remember rightly. And that, I never did any MIG welding, and I never really had the need to. I think I made a couple of exhausts on a couple of cars at the time, but I'm from a VW sort of background. I actually own a company called Midland VW, where I started that when I was 18 years old, and I've grown that over the last, 26 years. So, you know, there's been staff and people working there. So, you know, I was concentrating on running the show basically, and you sort of come off the tools a little bit like that. I've always had my hands on the engine building side of things with my dad, who's helped us out no end. But other than that, the sort of hands-on day-to-day spannering and welding and stuff down at the business, there's been people there doing it. It's a very busy place, so it's took a lot of effort and time to develop the business to get it to where it is today. And so yeah, so I never really had the requirement to be picking up the MIG welder either, which is a bit of a shame really when I look back on it, because of how much I actually enjoy doing this sort of stuff. But like, I wish I had. I've done more of it when I was a bit younger. But yeah, like, this how life goes into it. We could go on and on about that sort of thing. So yeah, so I mean, I got back onto the welder sort of this last, like properly this last, what's it been? Probably this last 6 months or so, I reckon. It sort of stemmed from, I had a little crash in the Mini when I was racing at Brands Hatch, and it needed a quarter panel. And it was just obviously a bit of a palaver getting it somewhere to get it done. And obviously everywhere's busy and what have you. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get stuck in. I'm going to do this myself. And I did. I took the quarter off, and my mate Gaz come and give us an hand as well. But you know, he's new to that sort of stuff too. He's, you know, we're not daft. I've seen this sort of stuff done throughout my life, and I've been in and around sort of fabrication and what have you. I'm not completely naive, but it's just the sort of practical side. I've just had no experience. So yeah, so picking up the welder and getting stuck into it and practicing a lot on the bench and whatnot, and putting it into practice and everything. And it's going in the right direction now, and I do feel a bit more confident. And I'm hoping that'll be good news for my little Escort here, and hopefully I can push it in the right direction. And start picking up a bit of speed, because there has been a little bit of a delay in a lot of places, because I've been sort of, I've been a little unsure, and I've not wanted to make any cock-ups, because I don't want to be cutting things back off it that I've done. So yeah, so I think it's going all right now. What we're going to do now then? What's this video going to be about? I think I'd like to try and get this side done. That seems to be the best bet, and I reckon it's rear quarter next. So the quarter, I've got a new quarter panel landing today, I think, and I reckon I'm going to make a start getting that off, getting the tub out and whatnot, and just getting this sort of strip sorted out. I mean, that'd be mega, wouldn't it? Get half the car, well, this one side of the car done anyway. So I think it's going to be like the sides, the back panel, and then I've got the front end to go out as well. So I'll get some videos recording, and I hope you enjoy it. And keep going back and watching them. That'd be ideal. Thank you. So here we're just looking at, how to get the quarter off, and making some marks and what have you, just so as you can get things right and you don't make any mistakes. It's very time consuming drilling all these spot welds out, but you've just got to take your time. So you can do, you don't want to be drilling through anywhere if you can avoid it, or damaging the material behind where you need to fix the new panel to. So just giving it the 3mm drill just to start the nipple off, then going in with like a flat spot weld drill there into there, giving it a tap. That's one way of doing it. Obviously we've got a bit more of a job on our hands up here with all this flag and carry on. Gaz has been going over it with the little band oil thing, that little bad boy. I'm knocking them off there. So keep at it. Obviously these videos are substantially trimmed down, and there's hours and hours of footage that I've consolidated into hopefully a watchable portion, but for sure these things are taking a lot longer than it looks like in these videos. Right then, quarters off. Give you a little look at what the next challenge is. This bit of a blank here, it hadn't even been welded into the quarter or tacked into the quarter, just literally placed in and shitload of silicone sealant, whatever, seam sealer on it. There was like a repair plate here. Obviously it's a bit rotten here, but yeah, they hadn't even welded it in, it just been stuck in. I'll just turn the jumbo jet of that's the fan going off, the super duper extractor. Yeah, so obviously we've got another rear panel that's going to go on, but there's a bit of TLC going to be required on this C-pillar. That's something like, so that's where we're at now. And we can get the rest of the tub out and get this prepped up. Lunchtime now though. There we go. I've never taken any of the lead out of anything before, but it was relatively easy. This was just got the blowtorch on it, heated it up, and it pretty much just ran out of the joint there to expose it. I'm hoping it's clean enough for when I come to do any welding with it, because I have heard that it can be a bit of a problem when you try and weld with the contamination of the lead there. And that'll be something new to learn about, no doubt. Okay, that's the end of that day. Got a big chunk done. Well, what can I say? It's, yeah, you get rid of a bit that you think's gonna be the next bit, and then you uncover other bits and pieces. So I'll give you a little recap. Well, the quarter's off. Down there she is. But it's leaving us with this predicament in here, which is what to do with this inner. I mean, this section of the inner is not so bad on this side, but this section up around the back of the C-pillar is, yeah, seen better days. I mean, it's got like a bit of a curved contour and whatnot, so I would imagine making up a repair panel is, yeah, it's possible, but it'll be fairly time consuming, won't it? So I don't know whether or not to try and source a bit of the inner quarter. I'm gonna have a look on the internet tonight. And then the other issue we've got is up the top there, it's starting to go up just around the top bit there, so it'd be nice to replace that bit, but it's obviously got the lead out of it there, but it's obviously getting somewhere to join it high enough up but I'm just worried about the contamination from the different metals and welding processes that have been used up there. Might make it a bit of a bloody nightmare to weld up. I don't really want to be taking the roof off as well. So I got the tub cut out and the turret cut out. I mean, I don't know who done the fabrication on this car, but you know, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I've just spent some time educating myself and looking at pictures of stuff that looks like it's been done properly. That's credible. I guess that's how you learn anyway, isn't it? And I'm getting stuck in myself and understanding these things better. But yeah, the fabrication has been, I mean, there's been a lot of bits that have not even been welded in. They've just bloody seam sealed or silicon sealed around the seam of the panel just to hold it in place. Like the seatbelt holes there have been blanked off with look, with hold on gimbal. Yeah, with a bit of sealant. Instead of just tacking it in, it's probably hard to do it like that. Such is life, as I keep saying. Got to stay positive, haven't we, and chip away. So yeah, so I've got to work out getting this tub into the side there and exactly how all that's going to go, and then worry about the turret box after. And then obviously there's going to be cutting the rear quarter to match that rear tub. I'm looking forward to that. There we go then. Okay, thanks for watching up to press. Keep watching and we'll crack on with it. I don't know how many days of videoing we'll do before I get another video uploaded, but we'll see how it goes. Might do maybe half of this and then upload it and then do another half to upload again. Otherwise there might be a bit too much to put in one video, but we'll see. Okay, thanks very much. Bit of a late start today. Had a bit of stuff on this morning, so got that out of the way before we got back into the Escort. It's always nice to have a sleep on things and after you've done a big chunk of it and you can have a think and reflect on what you're going to do next. But yeah, that's the decision now. It's obviously needs a bit of repair work on this inner rear quarter, and I'll let you have a little look again. So yeah, it's not great, is it, up there? So I need to think about what to do with that. Then there is a bit of an issue at the top of that pillar as well, but I don't know how much of that to disturb. I'm still debating. Obviously I've got the lead out of it up the top there, so that'll need some sorting out with. Well, I don't know how far up to join the quarter. I'm thinking about just blanking these vents off. I've seen a few rally cars now with those in. Obviously on a road car you've got to sort of vent the car properly and whatnot, haven't you? But on a rally car you can get away with a little bit more, can't you? So yeah, put some vents in the rear screen window quarters, I believe. So there's ways around it. I just think it's just such a water trap that they're always rotten there, aren't they? I mean, the other side ain't very clever. I'll have to see what that's like when we get there. So yeah, and I've got to work out getting this rear tub or something like. It's got to go in there, innit? But obviously we've got to get that sat into that quarter as well. So I just need to just work the best plan for getting all that something like. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So I think I'll probably start just finishing off getting the last bit of that tub out and the material prepped around there, and start making some inroads as to seeing what it's going to look like with the tub in place, as to getting a bit of a line for cutting out the quarter and that. Right, keep watching. Thank you. Gaz has got quite good at making the little repair panels, which has been handy. You know, templating it up with a bit of cardboard to start off with, and then you just starting with a new bit of sheet and then beating it into shape and cutting and bending and tweaking it. It's a definitely time-consuming affair for sure. And I was just cleaning up some bits and pieces on the edges of the chassis rails, and you know, it's just so much to do, isn't there? So you just got to keep chipping away. Little recap of where we're up to. The camera battery went flat yesterday, so I sort of missed off a little bit of it. But yeah, Gaz has made a panel up that I've welded in to try and repair the back of this inner rear quarter. So that's about where we're up to now. It don't look too bad, to be fair. It's gone in okay. Extremely difficult to weld this thin steel, but not too bad. So I'm gonna, obviously, now as we've got this bit down here, with it being a rally car, we don't need these vents. They tend to block them off, so I think we're going to make something up that's going to sort of come around the bottom of here just to fill this in, really, because it ain't needed. So, and then just this little edge on here needs repairing, and then the inner rear quarter's not looking too bad. Then should have saved it, I think. Got this rear tub in place, so it's not looking too bad. Alright, we'll have a crack on. I was just really taking my time with the TIG, trying not to melt through anywhere. Real hard work welding this thinner material. Hardest thing I've done, really, I think. But I'm getting the hang of it. It's coming on, and the practice makes perfect. Right then. Well, it's coming on. It's time-consuming work. Working with the TIG round that corner has been extremely difficult on this thinner inner metal, but I think Gaz has done a good job of making some panels up, and I've done my best at welding them in there, but I think that's probably better than what I could have probably voted for, really. So that's good news. We're just going to do something with in this middle bit just now, just to finish that off, but I mean, that's looking pretty decent. I'm just going to put a little repair piece in there, and then well, yeah, that's sort of rescued the inner quarter, isn't it? Which I think has worked out alright. So I'll bite to lunch and then have another go. A little bit there done, so just little bits at a time, and it's like super time consuming, isn't it? But I mean, there's a lot to grind off there, is there? That's gonna be pretty good. Just gonna shape inside of that out. So I'm just gonna try and just sort something out of this bit of an inner panel here, and that'll be the inner quarter pretty much fixed. Right then, little recap again, just to keep you posted with where we're getting up to. It's pretty slow going, these bits are, but we're just gonna plate that over there now. So obviously we don't, with this being a rally car, it doesn't need to have these vents in the rally manual. It actually suggests blanking them off, so it sort of makes sense to make a panel up to come in there. It'll just strengthen that inner rear quarter. I think it's looking pretty decent, that. I'm pretty pleased. So a bit more work on that tomorrow, and then then we should be in a position to start offering the quarter up to it and just decide what route is going to be best for that. I don't know how far up we're going to come up that seam there yet. I mean, it'd be nice if we could lift the roof off, but I just really don't want to get into that. It's already a colossal task without creating more, so that's that. I start doing something. I've been getting rid of all this bloody seam sealer, which is everywhere, and coincidentally not even doing a great job, because everywhere I take that seam sealer off, it's sort of started to rust behind the seam sealer. I'm not sure really whether or not you're beneficial with it, or at least you need to use a very high quality one if you're going to do it. So there we go. Hope you're enjoying the video still. You keep watching and keep tinkering on. Hopefully it'll start looking like an Escort again when the quarter gets back on it, because it's starting to look a bit not like an Escort again. It's like you take 2 steps forward and then a couple of them back, don't you, with this game? At least I think once this side's done, we'll be able to hit the ground running on the other side, and we'll know what we're doing because we'll have the practice on this side. So I suppose that's something, isn't it? Great. All right, going to crack on. So here I'm just trying to clean off all the seam sealer that's been clagged all over the car. Mission that is. Just takes forever and bloody dust gets everywhere. Proper arm pump after this. Right, that concludes another day. I've had a bit of a tidy up just. Been grinding some more of this seam sealer and whatever it is that's over all the crap welding that's been done on the car. It's a right mission getting that stuff off. It's absolutely just unbelievable, and there's far too much of it been put in. But the thing is even where it's been put, you can see it's done its job anyway, so it's obviously either a crap quality or it just doesn't work in the long run, because it, you know, everywhere where the seams are, as soon as I start exposing the seams, it's all rusty. But anyway, I'm going to replace all the back panel, aren't we? It's a bit of a, wish that the fabrication that had been done on it had been done to a better standard. It's not really floating my boat. I mean, loads of these holes and things that are in the back end here, just been filled up with silicon sealant. I just don't know what goes through people's minds. You'd surely, you know, a car like this, if you're building it, putting the effort into putting like Millington engine in it and everything, you'd do a bit more than seam sear, put a bit of silicon sealant in the holes in all the boot floor, wouldn't you, surely? That's just backwards, isn't it? Anyway, we'll try and tidy it up, won't we? And I'd like to just replace all of it, replace all the back pan and everything, just to make it nice when it's finished. But I think I'll probably be able to recover anything. I mean, it ain't rotten or anything, the back boot floor and that, it's all good. So it just doesn't look the greatest. But I suppose once it's all welded together and it's tidied up and painted, it'll look alright, won't it? I mean, I've been underneath there, just trying to clean off all the seam sealer, so it's not looking too bad now. Got to do something with this chassis rail here now. It's there's surface corrosion there, but I think it's all right down there, isn't it? Yeah, it don't look too bad. Yeah, so I think I'm going to cut this chassis leg out here to plate it over there and sort this out, so we've got, you know, the lip back here, and then we can think about joining over into the tub, can't we, when that's positioned in and the quarter's on, which hopefully we'll get the quarter on maybe tomorrow. So that's it. Another load of work and effort and time, and sometimes you struggle to see any real improvement, but I'm sure it's getting there, isn't it? These little repairs that we've done on here, pretty decent. I'm pretty pleased with that lot, so that's all good. A little bit more tidying up on that, that'll be sound, won't it? Sorted. Okay, back on it tomorrow, and probably getting the video edited up and uploaded so you can see what we've been up to. Thanks very much for watching again up to this point. I keep saying it, but I do appreciate it. It makes a bit of difference to the job, really, being able to do all these videos. It's been something new, so that's been interesting in itself. I'd like to be in a bit higher spirits with it all, like, but it's a bit disheartening. Like I say, I should have just bought something as a project, you know, or I'd have bought just a shell to build one from. Instead of buying one that should have been alright, that ended up being not alright, and then ended up having to go to town on it anyway. It's sort of kicking myself, really, for letting my guard down. I should have paid more attention and checked things better. But such is life. So, back on it tomorrow then. Ta. Morning. Back in the field of dreams. Fresh day on it. So, I'm going to try and finish off this repair on this inner rear quarter, which is looking pretty decent by all accounts, and then try and get some sort of idea of how the quarter's going to fit, and then hopefully, I don't think they're going to come today, but I was hoping the rear turrets would be here, because I wanted to do something with this rear chassis leg because they want some extra clearance there, I believe, just to give the rear axle a bit more of a gap. But I've looked at the shapes of the turrets, and the bottoms of the turrets are sort of, they're cut sort of like that, and that'll give me a little line of where to cut the chassis leg out. I don't really want to cut the chassis leg then off of the turret up to it, and yeah, not really match down the bottom there, so I'm going to have to hold fire on that little bit. But I dare say I could probably move on to maybe getting the back panel off, but we'll see how it goes. It's always nice after you've had a sleep and you come back, and yeah, after spent all that time yesterday cleaning all that bloody sealant off it, I was ruined. My shoulders were killing. It's got to be the worst job on the planet, that is, grinding off or wire wheeling off the seam sealer and what have you. Yeah, I could definitely think of better things to do. I just like the welding. That's my favourite bit. Just like welding shit together. When you've done that, you always feel like, yeah, I've done something. Look at that. 2 pieces of metal joined together. It's the small things, isn't it? Alright, Sam, crack on. Right then, we've finished rebuilding this inner quarter, so I have to say I think we've done a mega job of that. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, we've got the shape back into it, we've got something there good for mounting the quarter panel to. I mean, it's took quite a bit of time, real hard work welding to this original inner quarter, because it's so thin. It's just, you know, you've got to be very delicate with the TIG. Well, by all accounts, I don't think it's turned out too bad, and obviously we've fixed that corner up. I mean, we've not prepped or dressed the inside of it or anything, but obviously, you know, it's retained some shape when you look back in the car. I mean, it's a rally car, so it's going to be caged and painted, so you ain't going to be able to see, you know, it's not like you can draw your attention to it very much at all, but, you know, the essence of it is it's there, and I think it's turned out pretty good. Well, it's stronger than what a new one would have been now, isn't it? That's like mega. So I need to get a bit of primer on things, and then we can probably have a little look at cutting the quarter and seeing how that looks over the top of it. So just prepping, getting this quarter to go on. It obviously the top of the inner here is not great, so, and it was rusty around there, so it's going to be a bit of work to get that something like, isn't it? But I'll try and join it underneath here, ideally. So I think it's going to be quite tricky, isn't it? Needs a new scuttle in the back here, so I'll get a new scuttle, but that looks like about it for today. I think we've done good today. Well, yeah, crack on as soon as we can. Keep the ball rolling. Hi again. Okay, so I'm back at it now. I've had a little break. I've had a little bit of man flu, which we all know is like the end of the world. Only a little bit like, but soon knocks the wind out your sails. I was away at the weekend as well. The mini racing awards thing there. We won the best Mini 7 racing newcomers, which I thought was pretty pleased with actually. Nice little turn up for the books. I got a nice little trophy with my name on it. Some other pretty big names that are on it as well, which I was quite surprised at. So that's pretty cool. Trying to get back on with the Escort now. Don't know about you lot, but once you've had a little break off something, getting the warmth back in you to start going again at it is not easy, is it? It's been a bit of a struggle. I'm like, is it time just to stick the cover over it and forget about it and crack on with something else? But no, we don't want that to happen, do we? We want to be getting somewhere with it. I want to use the bloody thing. Not just stand here looking at it in the state it's in. So, right, got to try and get this quarter panel in place now, and that'll finish this video off. There's been a little bit of a delay, obviously, on getting another video up because of all this goings-ons. But yeah, gonna push on now, get the quarter panel in place. I'm not gonna weld it on yet because I've got all this tub affair and all the rear strut turrets, these fancy Riga ones with the fitting for the Riga strut. So I've got to get all that in place, and I figured probably be handy to get the quarter panel on and off. So, but in other news, I was going to retain the other quarter and try and repair it on the other side, but after seeing what this passenger side one's been like underneath that C-pillar and whatnot, I can't see the point of leaving that quarter panel on. I think I'm going to have to take it off just to do something in that pillar and what have you. I mean, it's gone up in the roof up there as well, so yeah, I mean, the roof don't look very clever all the way across the back of there, but I'll see. Obviously, we've got the roof peeled up there. I don't know how that's going to go. Hopefully, that'll look right once that's put back right. Obviously, if it looks shit, it's going to mean a roof skin coming on. But we'll see. Should be alright, I think. So, yeah, all right. Going to crack on, see where we can get to. Hopefully, get this video capped off and get it uploaded. Then you can have a little look at what we do. Thanks for watching again up to this point. I keep saying it but I do appreciate the views and the messages and comments and stuff. So, keep up with that, that'd be grand. Thank you. When you're fitting these panels, you've just got to really take your time when you're overlapping it and cutting a little bit off at a time to get it in the best possible position. So as you can cut through with a nice thin blade. I've been using the air saw, so as you've got a decent butt joint to be able to weld it together nicely, but you've definitely got to take your time doing this. Okay, as we can see, got a quarter panel in place, lifting the spirits a little bit. We've had our insurance approval come through as well, actually, so we'll be sort of approved for insurance repair work. No, I'm only kidding, but like, it's looking pretty good, isn't it? For an old MK2 Escort anyway. So we finally got it sort of fitting something like in the positions that we want to get it in. Obviously, I'm not going to go mad welding it just yet because there's a fair bit of work to do beyond, just underneath here, to get this rear tub in place underneath there. I'm not looking forward to that bit, but that's where we're moving towards next. Obviously, I don't really want to fasten the quarter on properly until that's all in place and sussed out, because at least we can whip the quarter on and off. And I suppose when we get to the other side, we'll have a better idea where everything goes. But in all fairness, it's not looking too bad, so we should have a relatively nice looking side on it soon. Well, rear side on it. And a lot of work this sort of stuff is, though, as you'll probably be able to see from the video. Getting it all in. I mean, obviously we've had to remake in a quarter and get that fitting something like. I mean, it's a shame we've had to go so high up the quarter there, really, into the roof, but it'll be okay once that's welded up. I mean, we've got a tiny little bit of a gap here, but not too much there. It should, I think, if I start and weld it here, it'll shrink it and pull it in a little bit and weld it here, and by the time I get to here, this gap will have closed up a bit anyway, I think. So, and then obviously these all come back down over the top, spot them back on, and then decide how to get that right when we get to that bit. So next stage is going to be getting the rear tub in place, getting the rear turret and stuff in there, and then once all that's all lining up and looking pretty decent, there'll be a fair bit of welding, getting it all fastened in properly. I hope you keep watching. I hope you enjoyed watching my video to get us up to this point. Hard work this is, real hard work. Sound. Okay, that's all right. That's it for this one. Cheers, bye.